hello.
My name is Vu. I'm a filmmaker from Singapore.
Oh, sit down, sit down.
And I'm here on the invitation of CATCHPLAY to speak with you.
What do you want to talk about? Movies?
Everything, if I could have the time, but...
time is...
I know. Well, there's been a lot of pessimism, I guess, lately, surrounding films that are non-mainstream. It's getting increasingly difficult for films that are non-mainstream to be seen by the public everywhere in the world. And you have stood against some of these very big mainstream films for the longest time. So I was just wondering if you were a 30-year-old filmmaker now with a career ahead of you, with the landscape currently, what would you do?
I think I would do what we did back in the late 60s, where the equipment became more flexible, where the budgets went down, and where we took advantage of our passion and also our anger at the situation. It reminds me of like the late 60s. Why accept the situation? If you're 30 years old, or you're 28 or 20 or 31, 32, do everything in your power. And a lot of the power comes from passion and anger, as long as the anger is controlled for the right reasons. Meaning, you get so mad, you got to make the film, and you've got to show it. You demand the films be shown. You go to the theaters, you talk to the exhibitors, you talk to the distributors, you make a movement to get these pictures shown. I think that's the thing, because if you don't take advantage of your own passion, especially when you're younger, the cinema will just become a theme park, which is very nice at times for a lot of people. And by the way, a lot of these films are made so beautifully. But I come from a time when movies were there were more possibilities. And don't forget that it falls on your generation, because the generation after you will only know cinema as a cartoon or as a theme park film. The younger people, they won't know that it existed before in different ways and had such powerful impact, emotional, psychological, and spiritual impact, and that you can make something entertaining that still has a very spiritual power to it. And they say, well, they were making these films now that are lower budget and that they deal with spiritual matters, or they deal with important social issues, but they're not given the chance. And I think sometimes the difference in Case of Silence, for example, they say it's a film about faith. Yes, it's a film about faith. Okay, but it's a film about the human condition. But it's not a film about faith where a person says, well, if you believe in God, everything's all right. That's the kind of film that gets shown. And that's the kind of film that they'll give you a few dollars to make, and they'll show it somewhere. But the only way that you'll be able to I think, change cinema and reinvent cinema is that you have to get a movement of your own in this part of the world, everywhere, America too.
I see. Well, I think I've always heard the way you introduce your films, and you always focus on the human condition. Even though it comes with sometimes much larger social theme, you focus on it, and I appreciate that very much.
Well, I don't say that what happened in the 20th century is going to happen again in terms of cinema. That was that time, but you do have more possibilities now. You do have new technology. You could do things that nobody ever thought of. It's reinventing cinema.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I offer you my film?
Yes.
It's called Apprentice. It was in Cannes.